have resin in my hair, and did I stab myself and make myself bleed with a piece of hardened resin? Maybe. Are you ready for a dungeon party? Or more specifically, a dungeon-themed craft party where it's just me and I make some really cute, delicious and dungeon magnets? Well, if you want to stick around, I'm going to try to make some cute stuff. If you haven't been living under a rock, or if you have, I don't discriminate, you may or may not have heard of Delicious in Dungeon, otherwise known as Dungeon Meshi. My editor asked me not to do that, but obviously I've been watching it, and as I was watching the other day, I couldn't help but think that all the food obviously looks really delicious and amazing and weird and just fantastic, and that I really wanted to make something inspired by it. And it's been a while since I've had my crafty little hands in some clay. I thought it'd be super cute if I sculpted some magnets in the shape of dungeon food. So yeah, let's get to brainstorming. So right away, I know that I want to make the treasure snacks because they're really colorful and cute. I also really want to make the exorcism sorbet, number one, because the name. And then I think I also really want to make the hot pot that was in like the first episode, I think, that had like scorpion and mushroom. I kind of just want to make the little mushroom dude himself, the guy with the little feet. We'll see though, we'll see. Next up we have the crafting. The crafting. On this first day of crafting, I really did not accomplish very much. I spent most of my time getting familiar with the clay, and I did make a little bun. However, I ended up remaking it, so this was kind of a waste of time. Well, maybe that's a little harsh. After all, I did get a good feel for the clay, literally, and I sculpted a few gems that I need as well. Day 2 for me was a lot more fruitful. Day 1, me and this clay, we were texting. Day 2, we're in a situationship. And I figured out that this clay likes to be moist. And so I kept it in a little dish over there off to the side, covered with a wet paper towel, and that seemed to keep the clay very happy in between working with it. Out of all the things that I sculpted, I would say the most challenging were the bowls, plates, etc. Anything that had to hold the food, for some reason I found particularly challenging. Something about getting that precise curvature was really just not translating from brain to hands. Shortly after making the slip, which is literally just clay mixed with water, I noticed that it was giving chunky, melted exorcism sorbet vibes, and so I totally used that in my favor, and it worked out really nicely. So I thought now would be a good time for an update. It's day 2 and things are going smoother than anticipated, which is always good. I am having a teensy amount of struggle adjusting to air dry clay. It is a little bit tougher to work with than I would have thought. I have been struggling when it comes to making the gems that I unknowingly signed myself up to make so many of because I apparently chose 2 delicious indulgent foods that use gems. Today, in particular, I have been working on the exorcism ice cream, and this is what I have so far. I think it looks pretty good. I'm trying not to beat myself up over imperfections. I think I'm going to try and finish up the actual clay making process today so that I can start painting tomorrow. So the last thing I have to make is the hot pot, which has a lot of elements to it. Anyways, that's the current update. I'm gonna get to work so that I can hopefully finish sculpting these pieces today. In this part, she sculpts Senshi's pot and almost has a nervous breakdown while doing so. The candlestick, that didn't work. Didn't get the right shape. The bowl, it kind of got the right shape, but not the right depth. It was a whole thing. It's day 6. Grip on reality has reduced by approximately 30%. Confidence decreased by nothing. I've totally got this. Stamina is waning, okay? It's low. There has been a lot going on in my personal life. Oh geez, that makes it sound like I'm going through some sort of existential crisis. I am, but not today. That was like 3 days ago. there's just a lot of stuff that is currently going on. And so I have been very sporadically working on this project. And by sporadically, I mean like 30 minutes to an hour a day. And so this is coming along very slowly. For most people, an hour of painting might, in fact, conclude the project. However, for me, an hour of painting is a little bit closer to 4.5 minutes because I spend 99% of my time like this.
Deepa deepa deep do do.
So currently, I am working on Le Mushroom Guy. Yeah, girl loves to be on brand. Many, many times I have asked myself, why? Why did I choose so many tiny, intricate pieces to paint? So far, I've gone cross-eyed a few times. I'm experiencing pain of the lumbar variety, and I pinched my shoulder also at one point. I know, I'm not cut out for hard physical labor, obviously. Once I had finished up all of the sculpting, I went on to sanding everything, and after sanding, I went straight into sealing everything with Gorilla Glue, which some random guy on Reddit said makes the clay stronger, and if I can't trust in Reddit, I don't know what I'm supposed to trust in. Anyways, my plan for the rest of the day is to finish up painting, hopefully, and then move on into the final touches. Tis midday snack time. And yes, the rumors you've heard are true. It took me 30 years to discover Uncrustables, albeit not the name brand, because much like a sweet baby bird, I be cheapin'. When they talked about ambrosia from the gods, we have reached the pinnacle. Everything that I have made thus far is done being molded, done being painted, and pretty much done being assembled. And I am ready to do the part that I have been dreading, which is sealing everything. Initially, I was just going to use a varnish, and I thought that would be sufficient, but there are several pieces that I think could just really benefit from a high gloss shine. And from everything I've read, nothing duplicates that effect quite like UV resin. I am absolutely terrified to use this. I honestly have been avoiding using this for years. I don't know why. I'm probably being a massive chicken, but I have a resin phobia. Not a phobia, because my fear is very real. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it, but we're gonna do it. I am going to gear up, put on gloves, and head outside because I do not want to be using this in the house. And we're gonna see how it goes, I guess. I'm fairly sure I'm being dramatic. This is about to be my 13th resin. Oh God, I think it's already getting hard. That is what she said. I think I'm done. Was that the worst experience I've ever had? No. That award goes to getting a planter's wart frozen out of my pinky toe. Do I have resin in my hair, and did I stab myself and make myself bleed with a piece of hardened resin? Maybe. Well, folks, we've reached the end of another project, finally. So I thought it'd be appropriate to do a little wrap up. I know what you're thinking. Where the frick are the magnets? Well, did I say that I was gonna make them into magnets? I mean, I make some really cute, delicious, and dungeon magnets. I'd appreciate if you didn't use my own words against me. Thank you. So maybe I said I was going to turn them into magnets, but I don't know if I can. It is perhaps a moral quandary that I am unable to answer. To magnet or not to magnet. I don't know, but right now it's to not. Despite all the little hiccups, I'm so flippin' happy with how all of these turned out. I don't know how I'm going to display them yet, but I know that I'll find the perfect place for them. I overcame my fear of resin. I made cute stuff. I think this was a huge success of a video. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that I'll see you in the next one. Bye! The first thing I need to do is get a supply list going. Spit out my gum. Is it okay to get wood glue on your skin? I literally don't know.
No.
Caution, avoid contact with eyes and skin. Oops. There's a frickin' pocket. You dummy. My finger. Okay. Yum.